My next guest tonight spent over 4 years in the White House working as senior policy advisor for President Clinton. He's now a professor at Columbia University and a commentator for ABC News. Please welcome George Stephanopoulos. How you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing very well tonight. We're having a good time. And
fun trip, huh?
Amsterdam was great. Yeah.
I just hope Dan Quayle wasn't watching that film.
Yeah. No, I don't think that'd be. I don't think any politician is going to get behind that trip I took.
I don't think so. No, I wouldn't recommend that.
Maybe Ross Perot for some crazy reason that no one can understand.
Well, he is crazy. So
yeah,
would
right.
do it.
You know, what's always strikes me about you. I've met you a couple of times.
Right. You told jokes to the president.
That's right, or sort of at him.
At
or
him,
him.
right.
Yeah. But I've always been struck by the fact that we're about the same age, I think, and you had probably one of the tensest jobs someone can have. I mean, you're dealing with all kinds of crises all around the world. You're putting out fires. You're the guy that reports to the president. Incredibly tense.
All the bad news.
Yeah, all the bad news probably. And you got this job when you were relatively young. I mean, very young to be doing this. What did you do to prepare for that? What had you done to prepare yourself?
I was a waiter in college.
How did that go over?
Our critics thought that was our preparation.
I guess if you were, where were you a waiter?
I was a waiter at a French restaurant, and I used to have to push around the dessert cart. Mm-hmm. And there actually were similarities. You know, every night you have to go through the dessert cart, and at the end of it, some comedian thinks he's the first person who ever thought of it, said, "I'll take one of each."
Right,
you know,
right. And then lasts for 20 minutes.
And everybody in the country does that when you're working for the president. You know,
right.
They come up with great advice. Be presidential.
So wait, when
thank you very much. You know,
but when you had your interview with Clinton, who I guess was governor at the time, and he said, well, what experience have you had? Did you say, well, I was a dessert waiter at a French restaurant, so I think I'm okay, back off?
Actually, I worked in the Dukakis campaign first, and I had a very strange job. They needed a short Greek guy with no sense of humor to test the jokes off of. And it didn't work. No.
Right, no, but then you moved on. What advice, when you left your post in the White House, what advice did you give to your, it's Ron?
Rahm Emanuel.
Rahm Emanuel. What advice did you give to your successor?
Well, I said, don't stay more than a year, and just remember the president's always a little cranky in the morning.
Really? He's cranky in the morning?
Morning, yeah. He gets up, has a little bit of a temper. He sort of reads the newspaper, which would put you in a bad mood.
While he's eating an Eggo waffle or something. I mean, is he in a better mood after he eats in general?
Yeah, he has cinnamon raisin bagels, and usually that puts him in a little bit better mood. And when he yells at someone,
what, he's like Scooby-Doo? He just like you give him a Scooby snack, and he's like, woo. Floats a little bit.
Whatever works.
Yeah. He is famous for having a temper. He is famous. The man has a temper, and I would think it would be strange to have the President of the United States yelling at you, and that must have happened. No matter how good a job you do, there are times when the guy just uncorks on you.
Oh, sure, but you can't take it personally. I know it sounds strange. You just can't think he's yelling at you. It's more like he's yelling through you. And yeah, it's just he's sort of venting, you know, getting stuff out.
Right.
So you really can't take it personally. And it's worse actually when he's not yelling at you, because you start to worry about, you know, am I out of the loop now? Does he not? He doesn't care enough about me to yell at me, so to go fix the problem.
It sounds like you guys needed some kind of a marriage counselor, you know? I don't think he loves me. He doesn't yell at me.
You're a classic codependent.
Yeah.
Any attention is good attention. Why isn't he screaming at me anymore?
Something's very wrong.
He doesn't love me.
But it's kind of exciting. Well, when I yell at people, they just giggle, you know? I have absolutely no authority on this program.
That's not a good idea when the president yells at you.
Right, but when, you know, if you started giggling,
yeah, that wouldn't work.
He'd start chasing you around the desk. And does he ever say "ni-ha"? Has he ever done it once?
Ni-ha? No.
Yes, he has. You're a college professor now.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying this?
I am, yeah. It's a little late for me now because I teach on Friday morning, so I have to get up early for class.
What kid goes to class on Friday morning? People are going to start blowing your class off.
Very committed students, right? It's a little scary, though.
What is the class in?
Presidential politics.
Bingo. It's got like French Renaissance art. Something. That would be great. But what's it like? I mean, in your class, do kids want to know the inside dope on the president?
They do. And I have to pretend, I have to remember it's not a press conference, and really have to try to teach. And it's a little, one of the things that's really different from press conferences, these students write down every word you say, and that's a little scary because most reporters say, oh, he's lying, not telling the truth, you know, go on.
They don't even write it.
Don't even write it down.
These people actually believe you. One thing that would, that I think would be a little strange for the job that you had was that anywhere you would look, there'd be something. If you pick up a newspaper, if you turn on the TV, there would be something that would anger you during those 4 years. I would think, and probably still, because you're still attached to the.
Yeah.
But I would think that there'd be nowhere that you could, turn on a late night talk show, they're making a joke. You pick up a newspaper, there's an editorial, there's a cartoon, there's anything, anywhere. Were you always constantly, like Elvis, shooting out TV sets?
Oh, man, just yelling. And that's why I never really minded when the president yelled, because you understand it. You're just getting criticized no matter what you do in the White House. But there are good things about the job as well.
Yeah.
Pretty good job.
Are there little perks and stuff?
Yeah, they have White House M&Ms.
No, they don't. They seriously do?
They come in a little box with a White House seal.
And how are they different? Is there an M&M on it, or is there like a little there's a presidential seal on it?
On the box, not the M&M.
Who is spending money on this? This is wrong. We should stop them now. Who's with me?
Oh, wait a second. I'll bet you. Now, what would you do if the president sent you a box of M&Ms?
I would love it so much. See if he can work anything out. And then on my campaign, I'll stop it right there.
Okay.
We won't march on the White House.
We'll work on it.
You're on ABC News, Good Morning America, and This Week, and you're on a lot of stuff. You're just constantly working. Best of luck. You have a book coming out sometime next year. Will you come back and talk to us?
Promise, yes.
All right, good to have you on. George Stephanopoulos, everybody. French Stewart's coming up to take a break. We'll be right back. Everybody, we're back, and ladies and gentlemen, you have to tune in tomorrow night. We got a great show, fresh from his election victory. Mayor Rudolph Giuliani is going to be with us. You want to stick around for that? And then Carl Malden is going to be here. This is one of those schizophrenic shows. And then musical guest Fish. So you got to watch that show. There's no rhyme or reason to the whole thing. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with French Stewart. We'll see you in a second.